Good morning, Keller Williams. How is it that we are back here at a Monday so soon? My goodness. For those of you who are paying attention, yes, that was the clean version of the song that I didn't play the clean version on about 2 weeks ago, because I just keep hearing it in the car and I really like it. So I worked hard to find you an appropriate version to play this morning. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, thank the Lord. For those of you who do, I still apologize. All righty. So I don't know about the rest of you, but at some point yesterday, at least at my house, we did have some leaves come down. Now, the good news is that the leaves missed the power lines. So we maintained power at all times. I'm not sure how we're gonna, I think there were about 7 or 8 leaves that ended up coming down. And so we are gonna have to make a plan to get that completely cleaned up. But hey, yeah, like talk about a non-event, right? It's actually raining harder and blowing harder this morning than it did all day yesterday. So I don't know what that's about. My brother sent something kind of fun. I'll show it to you. I thought I was going to show it to you. Hold on a second. Because I think that it is important that we don't. All right, well, I can't quite figure out why I can't get to that. So I'll see if I can grab that while I play you a short video.
Toddlers have been known to throw some tantrums every now and then, right? For just about any reason. You don't know sometimes. Now, some parents now post photos of their kids crying, all of their crying kids, to share the truth behind the tears. Some of this stuff is pretty funny, though. So check out why these kids are crying. Here's the first one. Because I stopped her from eating shampoo. She just couldn't handle that news right there. Then here's one right here. Because I told her only ponies can have purple hair. Here's another one. Because she suddenly wished she had pants on. Where my damn pants at? Ah! All right, here's a good one. Because she was afraid of the ladybug on her bib. That's messed up right there. All right, next up, because the road wasn't yellow or brick. This is not. All right, how about this one right here? Because the wind blew away her pile of leaves. I had that moment right there, boy. We had raked leaves. We was about 9 years old. Big wind came through and blew them all down. That was a crushing moment, man. Obviously, y'all ain't feeling that one, so that's it. Find whatever you want to laugh at today and go ahead and laugh at that. Hey, folks, welcome.
All righty. We've either all had those moments as parents or been there as children. I'm still trying to find you that memory of Hurricane Henri. Here we go. So this was sent to me yesterday so that we never forget. And I don't know what happened here. I guess in my brother's yard, there was way more damage because we didn't have any of the chairs go down. As I said, we did have those 8 leaves, but not the disaster that this chair represents here. So all my best to those in Wilton, because clearly the storm was way worse down there. All righty. So moving forward, where is my good friend Bill to rescue us from this open today? Good morning, Bill. Glad to see that you didn't.
Good morning, Rick. How are you?
I'm spectacular, thank you.
What's that?
I'm spectacular.
Oh,
And
good.
you?
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. So I'm great. I was thinking about taking my phone outside and doing like the Weather Channel, like, the Mortgage Minute from out there. But I decided it's a little too fierce, so I'm going to stay in here. So obviously you talked about the fact we expected this huge storm, and I did what I do before most storms. I checked, do I have a flashlight? No, even though I buy one before every storm. Went down to my local hardware store to buy a flashlight and batteries. And I do that. I've lived in the same area for 30 years, and I've always used this local hardware store, knowing that I'm paying an extra $2 for that flashlight, an extra $1 for the batteries, but also knowing that I'm supporting a local business and that they give me great service. And the same two people have been there for 30 years, and it's just a really great experience. So what I thought about from that though was, and first of all, let me say I do very little home repairs. So when I say I pay more there than at Home Depot over the course of a year, we're probably talking $18, but nonetheless, it's a conscious choice. And what I thought about was that I'd like to think of Westport Mortgage as your local hardware store when it comes to the service, when it comes to the consistency of the people you work with. We've all been here for years. Nancy was here for years, went somewhere else, realized how great it was here and came back. You know what you're going to get, and it's a great experience. But then I realized, but you're not paying $2 more for your flashlight. In many cases, you're actually getting a better price than you're going to get at the Home Depot of mortgages or any other larger box chain. Also, we actually have a bigger selection because we not only have the great Fannie Mae products and all the other government, et cetera, but we have the niche lenders, the no income verification, the crazy investment program, investment property programs where you don't have to show any source of income. We have all of that as well. So I feel like we're combining the best of Amazon and Home Depot and my local hardware store. And I feel really great about that. And by the way, Paul's staring at me because I didn't say we help realtors sell and buyers buy. I will say that belatedly. Yes, Dan, I'm in big trouble. No lunch for me today. And anyway, I just feel really great about it. I think it would give you great service, great options, and great prices. And I don't think anybody else has that combination. And more importantly for Paul, we've been doing that as your mortgage partner since 2007. Thank you, Rick.
You're quite welcome. You know, you've worked with someone long enough where just a glance, you can tell exactly what someone's thinking.
Yes.
Well done. Well done. All right. Thank you so much, Bill. We appreciate you and your flashlights. So moving on forward today, a couple of new things to talk to you about. We do have a couple of new ways for you to pay. And when I say you to pay, what I mean is in scenarios where you or your client might need to get money to the market center, we are rolling out some 2021 versions of getting money to the market center, which means as of this morning, we do have a valid Zelle Pay account, right? So for those of you who work with Zelle through your bank, you or your clients can now send the market center money through Zelle Pay. There'll be an email later on about exactly how to do that. We are working diligently. It's a little bit more of a struggle to get a business side account the way we want the business side account in Venmo. So we have been working on that and expect that we'll have a solution to that this week so that anybody who decides to use Venmo can then use Venmo. And thanks to Aaron Ramkalawan, your colleague and property manager extraordinaire, we are looking to move to a system where if you do some property management through the market center, we have a system that your landlords can send the property management fee through so that they don't have to keep sending small checks every single month. That's just become more and more cumbersome to receive checks for $200 or $270 or $130. Checks get lost in the mail, and it's just less convenient than setting it up in some kind of an automated system and having it just go. So at any rate, we are working on some digital versions or electronic versions of payment for you. Zelle Pay is already up and running. If you need that, do watch for that email later today to give you details on exactly how to use that. Watch for Venmo later this week, latest next week, and this new system for property management fees coming quite soon. So we hope that that is a benefit to you and to your clients. Mega Camp starts tonight. The main stuff starts tomorrow at 11. I think there's a welcome party as well as an objection handler a session tonight. That's kind of run like the script off was at Family Reunion. So you do have one last chance to register for Mega Camp. For those of you who haven't registered yet and expect to, I think I may have a way to get 2 of you a ticket at $129 instead of the current $149. That's going to be first come, first serve. Text or email me. I will look at the times that they come in. First 2 people to say, yes, I want those at $129. I will make sure that those go your way, save you $20. For everybody else, $149 still a bargain for the next couple of days of information and education that you will receive. As I've said before, I spend thousands and thousands and thousands, probably tens of thousands of dollars every year to make sure that I get to spend time with Gary and top people around the country. The fact that you get to do it for $149 for the next 3 days is a bargain. So do dive into that. If you think it's not for you, you'd be wrong about that. It's for every single person on this call. If you think you don't have time, that's the reason to make sure that you're actually plugged in over the next couple of days, because you're going to be listening to people who do business 3, 4, 10, 20, 100 times more than what most of us do in any given day, week, month, or a year. And they found the time to go and share their ideas. So you can certainly find the time to go and listen to those ideas. Just be careful about how you're judging this event. Remember that we do have in-office and other social events lined up for you. We have breakfast and lunch each day in the Market Center for those of you who are participating in Mega Camp. We have watch parties each afternoon so that you can spend some social time with your colleagues in at both 404 Main Street and 2777 Summer Street. Do look at emails that went out last week for those schedules. And then my excitement comes in the fact that we get Tuesday night and Wednesday night to see all the attendees who choose to come and spend some social time afterwards, just like as if we were in Austin. We spend some time at night together tomorrow night down in Norwalk and Wednesday night in Reading. So do remember, registration is required for participation in any and all of that. So dive in. I was asked if Gary's main session will be broadcast regardless of whether you're registered or not. And the answer to that is no, because it's a digital event this year. In days gone by, when we all used to go to Austin and there was no digital version, every once in a while they would broadcast a piece of Gary's main session. My understanding is that that is not happening. You do need to grab that registration to participate. So there is Mega Camp for you. And do remember, over the next 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, no 9 a.m. Zoom. So if you come here tomorrow, we will not be here. Right? Plug in at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning in your Mega Camp platform. You should have received an email already. If not, it'll come today with access to the Mega Camp platform. If for some reason you don't have that, go and check your spam or reach out and let us know that you need some help on that. All righty, a couple of other things that I wanted to get to this morning. For those of you who dove into our first real estate investment opportunity a number of months ago, we wanted to let you know that we are just about ready to open up another round of that, probably about a month out. So if you are interested in being part of a real estate investment group, which means you have some money and you want to buy an investment property, maybe you don't have enough money to go ahead and buy it on your own, or you do have enough money to buy it on your own and you're just not really interested in doing all the other side of owning properties, which is the management and the searching of the property and the buying of the property and all that stuff, right? And so we currently have Command Capital, which is our first round of about, I think there are 20 of us in that investment group. Another couple of weeks, watch for an opportunity for the second round of that. We'll be opening another opportunity to form a second group and dive in. We have a couple of neat investment opportunities that we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to dive into. So if that is of interest to you, do watch for that. Alrighty, so it's Monday, so we have a listings update. Our listings update for you this morning. We are in day 53 of 62, right? It's a 62-day challenge, which brings us right to the end of August. This is day number 53, or at least yesterday was day 53. And as of yesterday, we should have been at, knowing that our goal is 300 by the end of August, we should have been at 256. You are at 269, right? So you are still ahead of where you need to be on track. However, here's my biggest word of caution for you today as business owners, right? Business owner to business owner, I want you to hear that you've noticed over the last couple of weeks that our surplus has kind of shrunk, right? We're now down to just 13 units ahead of where we should be. We were well over 30 or 35 units over where we should have been a couple of weeks ago. And so what I'm noticing is that if you take a look from the 1st of July through today, weekly, the market had been producing over 400 or so on average new listings every single week. That's the Fairfield County market. In this past week, the Fairfield County market was down to 336. So about 400 average a week until last week, down to 336. We too had a slowdown, right? And so what that says to me is that we have to be really cautious that we are not just affected by what's happening in the market. We have to continue to outperform the market so that if the market starts to really slow down in terms of number of listings taken, we can maintain our averages. And right now, because of the numbers that we're seeing, even though we're ahead of where we need to be, if you project out, instead of ending up at like 350 or 360, which 3 or 4 weeks ago when we were talking about this, that's what it looked like we were going to do. If you project out the next 9 days, we just literally hit 300. So we've got to be really, really cautious that we don't fall victim to any kind of seasonality or slowdown that might be affecting the market in general. We need to continue to stay hot and heavy, really focused on taking those listings, getting them out there, because what we still know is that it's the fastest way for you to shortcut yourself to a payday, right? Take a listing, because listings go on, they sell quickly, they generally close within 30 to 60 days. So bing, bam, boom, you've got some money in your pocket. You've fulfilled another, the results that another client was looking for, and we go and do it again. So 256 is where we should be. 269 is where we are. My challenge for you for the next 9 days is just choose to overperform. Choose to outperform the market and what you yourselves have done in the last couple of weeks. And let's really bring it home so that we don't miss that 300 mark after being so far ahead so much of the time. Make sense? Who's in? Woo! Okay, good. By the way, to hit our target, we need at least 4 a day. I'd like to challenge you to just stay on 6 to 7 a day, because then we overproduce, overachieve, and hit bigger, more important targets. All righty, so I told you I wanted to throw out some numbers to you today, and I am going to just do that very, very quickly because I know that we are out of time. I wanted to give you kind of a snapshot of where you are to date. And as I started to build that for you, what I recognized is I can actually give it to you relatively quickly. right? We track, just like you track as business owners, we track as business owners at the market center level, closed units, listings taken, listings sold, contracts written, agents added, GCI, and profit share. All of those metrics, year to date, we are outperforming our goals. 125%, 104%, 130%, 112%. You get it, right? So I'm not going to read you each of those and give you all the numbers, because we're way ahead of where we should be based on our goals. And so what that says to me, right? Many of you are in that same position. And so what that says to me is we undershot our goals for the year, right? So there's a victory dance to be had to say, wow, we are outperforming. This is where we wanted to be. This is where we are. That's awesome. Celebrate that. But then don't let the opportunity of that pass you by. And what I mean by that is this. We are now taking a look, regardless of what the goals were, stated goals were for the year. We're now going back and looking at what we did last year and making sure that we have a specific growth factor on top of what we did last year, right? So we're taking our surplus and saying, okay, how can we capitalize on that surplus even more? So if we're at 130% of listings sold, that's awesome. How many listings did we actually sell last year? Let's add 20% on top of that and then recalculate to see what we have to do in the next 60 days, right? Because we have until about the 1st of November to write business that will close this year. And so we're in the process of doing that as a market center. I encourage you, if you are way ahead of your goals, even in only certain metrics, recalculate. Don't let the momentum die. Keep it going by challenging yourself to strive for something even bigger than you thought was possible, and recalculate those goals. Re-challenge yourself. Because what I found was I kept getting up every morning saying, oh man, we're so far ahead. Woo, yay, let's look at something else, right? And losing the focus that stretch goals sometimes bring us, right? So I'm now looking at the goals that we set as foundational floor goals, like never below, but because we're blowing them out of the water by 10, 20, 30%, we're now looking at what's the year-over-year growth factor that we want to hit? What's the new number we want to hit to set a new high, to set a new ceiling, so that we can start basing 2022, which we're also starting to try and figure out and plan, off of even bigger numbers to make sure that we are returning as much profit share back to you as we possibly can. Let's end on that number. Actually, let's end on two numbers, because I forgot to give you a number. Let's take a half step back to the listings conversation, because the listings to list to sale ratio that you bring to the table had been 101%, right? 101%, which is a pretty awesome list to sale ratio. It's a reason why people should list with you, right? Because you were outperforming the market. I squished that down to see what we've done, what you've done in the last 60 days only. So from July 1st, your list to sale ratio is 102%. See what I did there? I made it even better. Isn't that awesome? So 102% compared to the market at 101%. So do know that you are still outperforming, and utilize those numbers to attract more sellers into your world. Let's end with profit share. As of today, we have profit shared back to you. Our goal was by now to have profit shared $642,000 back to you. Instead, we've profit shared $813,000 back to you through the end of July, or 127% of our goal. Guys, we are trending right now to end way over our $1.1 million in profit share, more like $1.2 million in profit share. And so my question remains, how much of that were we able to give to you? Because the whole idea of giving away all that money, anybody, so raise your hand if you think $1.2 million is not a lot of money. Because I think it's a ton of money. And the whole idea of us giving that money away is to say thank you. Thank you for helping us be as awesome as we are. Thank you for helping us grow, right? And so if you're not participating in that, you are missing out on not a small pot of money. We're not giving away 20 bucks. We're giving away $1.2 million. So do yourself a favor, write down a goal between now and November 1st about how you're going to make sure that you participate in that, either at all if you're not participating in it, or at a higher level if you are. Get with your team leader, create a strategy, and let's just go and do it, right? Because that's what that money is there for. That money is there for you. And we want to make sure as many of you are grabbing as much of that as possible each and every single month. Guys, those are the numbers I wanted to share with you this morning. I hope they are helpful. I am so excited to spend Mega Camp Week with you. Dan is back with you Friday morning at 9 o'clock. We are not 9 o'clocking tomorrow, Wednesday, or Thursday. Adonis, what does Marty have for us today?
Okay, so today Marty's going to continue. This is part 3 of this social media experience, a social paid ad for Facebook. So he's going to show you how to continue doing that. Enjoy.
Good afternoon, Keller Williams, and welcome back to the KW Command 66-Day Challenge 5.0. And today is day 55, the third in kind of our 3-part mini-series here about creating a social ad for Facebook. It is a pretty intricate process, and so today we're going to talk about the final step, the lead settings that you can create when you're creating the ad. So let's go back into our campaigns. Megaphone icon here on the left hand side, and again we're going to create a campaign, social paid ad. We're going to put in the name, we're going to choose the goal, and we're going to choose which channel, in this case Facebook, that we want it to run on. Now if you're watching this video and haven't watched the first 2 parts, we're going to go through this first part. We're skipping over a lot of things, so go back, watch 1 and 2. But if you choose to incorporate a listing, you can. You're going to select all your ad copy, you're going to select your media, you're even going to go into Facebook settings and do your ad targeting. But the last step that you have available to configure is what's called the lead settings. So you'll see when we click on configure, this is the ability to do 2, possibly 3 things if you are on a team. The first is to auto tag any lead that comes in from this Facebook ad. And so you have the ability to select from your contact tags what tag you want associated with this lead. So basic one obviously might be create a lead for Facebook. So this is a Facebook ad, right? So that way I know that the person came in from a Facebook ad. I might create an actual tag for the address of the listing that I'm advertising. That way I can see, okay, how many leads did I have come in on each one of my ads or each one of my properties? Did I get the ROI that I was expecting? We know that for every listing we take, we should get a buyer back in return, right? So we get 2 deals out of every listing. However, the reality is in this market, if we're not super quick to get that marketing out, there's a very good chance that we don't get those leads because our listings are going under contract so quickly. So here's a way for you to track the leads on a specific address. You might also consider creating a lead for a specific neighborhood. So you can see that I'm going to type in Cinco Ranch. I don't have a contact tag for Cinco Ranch, but that's a neighborhood here in Katy. I can click on create new tag and then choose which color I want that to be, and then click on add, and I've now created that contact tag in my database. And any leads coming in off of this Facebook ad would have this tag automatically applied. Now, why would I want to tag a lead based upon a neighborhood? Well, what if I have another listing that I plan on taking in that same neighborhood? I could go back and essentially retarget the leads that came in off of the first ad, right, for my listing number 1, and I can retarget them with listing number 2, start sending them right? Emails and or, target them with the custom settings that we built out yesterday. As long as I have 100 people that have come in as Facebook leads in that actual neighborhood, then I can start retargeting them with additional ads. So some additional ways to kind of add tags to enhance just the knowledge that you have about the leads that are coming in, and then later segment them so you can kind of see who you have coming in where. The next thing is to automatically assign a lead to a smart plan. So if you have a smart plan that's been built out for specific follow-up on an actual ad. So say you're running an ad for a new listing, you've built out a smart plan to follow up with the leads on that specific ad, then you can actually trigger that smart plan as soon as somebody comes in as a lead. So you can see, right, we've got some additional ones. So here's that one I think that we actually created when we were doing the challenge earlier. So I can say 123 Main Street, this is the smart plan that I want to fire when leads come in off of this campaign. One side note, something to kind of keep in mind is with smart plans, typically if the first step is a text message, that text message will not go out until the hours of 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. The emails will go out 24/7. So if you are doing a Facebook lead follow-up, since a lot of leads come in outside of that 10 to 6 window, I might recommend that you do an email first and then follow it up with a text message so that your potential clients, right, the leads are getting an email about your ad and can correspond with you right then and there, right? So immediately they get contacted by you via email when they come in as a lead. If you have a team account and you are running ads inside of your team account, you can actually have a third step, and that would be lead route. So if you haven't seen my team mini series, I do have a team mini series on YouTube that talks about building out lead routes. And you could actually build out a lead route and then say, whenever I get a lead coming in on this specific ad, I want this specific lead route to fire. So that would be the third option. You don't see it on my screen right now because I am in my personal account. But you would see it if we were in the team account. So again, the ability to auto tag, the ability to auto assign to smart plans, and if you have a team, the ability to auto start a lead route. These are all within the lead
It's 9:30.
section for you to
Can't
configure
tell
when
if
you
it's
start
no,
a
it's still running.
Facebook campaign. Tomorrow we're going to dive into the campaign's dashboard to start looking into the metrics and information you can get off of that. So stay tuned then, and as always, I'll look forward to talking to you again real soon.
All right, more excellent Marty Miller. So tomorrow, well, sorry, not tomorrow, Friday, yeah, we'll do it more on Friday. Friday, we'll talk about understanding the paid ads dashboard and commands campaigns, okay? So hope you all enjoy Mega Camp. We'll see you tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Bye-bye, everybody.